Well, first, my name is Joseph Gonzales. I've been in real estate for over a decade plus now. Started off in real estate in Austin, Texas, and ran a real estate marketing company for the better part of 10 years. And my wife and I, after being in Austin and she worked for Dell Computers, Dell invited us over to Singapore where we lived for 4 years. And that was fantastic. We really enjoyed it. And we had both of our kids there who are now 6 and 4. And whenever we moved here, they were 3 and 1. So we're about 3 years in Cascais. And I'm used to hosting calls like this. I up until last year, I would train about 100 to 200 people a week in real estate. So I trained in real estate marketing, and so we got to host calls like this all the time, training real estate agents, which is really fun. And now we get to partner with teams that we're going to talk about in just a second to be able to bring some of that expertise and ideas along with our partners to help you that are on the call invest smarter in real estate in places like Cascais and Lisbon and Porto. So with that being said, that's who I am. I really enjoy real estate. I try to run away from it, but it always pulls me back in for some reason. And I continue to come back to it. And so I'm very thankful for that. So I think I can start spotlighting people. So I'm going to start spotlighting the folks that we have. The purpose for this call, as you probably have read and gotten the notes for, is to be able to go into learning more about Ando living. And with that being said, I'm going to spotlight Shafik here. She is the COO and the partner of Ando Living. Shafik, I will give you the stage so you can introduce yourself and your team.
Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here and meeting with the interested audience. I'm Shafak Narvo. I'm the CCO of Ando Living. And Ando Living is a service department brand. And we will be speaking about our recent launch of Pedras Negras today. I have from my team Diogo here. He will be supporting us as well. And hopefully when you are here to do the visits and everything, he will be supporting you with the team of Oria and with Marisa. So I'm also not Portuguese. I'm Turkish and living in Lisbon for the last 8 years. So you have done the good choice already to look into Portugal and Lisbon. This is what I can say as a summary.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Shafik, for your introduction. The next person we're going to have is, we would have Joanna on, but Joanna, like most of us who are parents, have who, who have children emergencies. Her child got sick, so she can't be here, but her wonderful assistant, who I've actually been to film several properties with and is a really wonderful person, Marisa, is here. So Marisa, if you'd like to say a little bit about Araya's group and team.
Hello, everyone, and thank you for having us. Yes, so my name is Marisa. I'm Joanna's assistant. I also do part of the sales operations. And so Oria is a 360 boutique real estate company. Basically, we focus on assisting international clients, mostly buyers, and basically seeking the best opportunities, the best properties. We make sure the clients have a smooth process from beginning to end, meeting expectations, where there is a holiday home, an investment property, or a normal home. And so we partner with interior designers, architects, relocations, to make sure we can get the best possible outcome. So basically, we have our sales team today here. I would hope they can actually put their hands up. They should be here. And yes, we are thankful for partnering with Ando. We've been working with the developer for quite some time, and now with Me To Portugal. And we think this synergy is great for the audience to get the possibility to get this pre-launch project.
Fabulous. Thank you so much, Marisa. This has been an interesting journey for us, Stephanie and I and our team launching Move Me to Portugal. And through these partnerships, we get to meet really wonderful people and really wonderful projects. So as you get to know us and know about us, you'll get to meet some of these people and be able to work with them as you move along your journey and either investing here in Portugal, moving here, and or having a vacation house here or home. One thing, if you have questions that come up, put them in the chat. We're going to monitor the chat for any questions that may come up as we're going through this process, because we don't want you to feel like you're not part of this conversation, because you may have questions that other people may want answered as well, or you may have particular questions for yourself. And so make sure all your questions are dropped in the chat. And then at the end, whenever we do Q&A, we'll be sure to answer those questions the best that we can. The other thing, those of you who are really interested, and I'll say this a couple times throughout the phone call, after Shafik goes through and you'll go through and make the presentation, you will be able to book a call with Marisa and their team, their sales team, to go into more detail about your specific scenario if you're truly interested in moving forward with something with Ando after you learn about the project in detail. So with that being said, Shafik, what we can do will allow you guys to tell us a little bit more about Ando, what it is, and then we'll dive into more Q&A as well that I have for everybody.
Okay, great. Thank you. So basically, I would like to start from a bit the concept, because this is part of the concept, and we are developing a service department brand that is born in Lisbon, and we are expanding to several European cities. So basically, Ando Living is a brand of service departments, meaning they hold touristic license and they are not residential apartments. This is quite important because, there is a specific license for residential units to be operating in short term, but there are several restrictions came in and can possibly go further, like anywhere in Europe or US. But we have decided to move in this touristic license, which is basically not residential. It's a commercial project, and we do the project according to this. So this is kind of a resilient license. Even tomorrow, there's a cancellation of Airbnb licenses. So I think this is quite important for the audience to listen. That means that you can basically use it whenever you want. And when you are not using it, we will be operating the project to make it more efficient for the owners, for the investment perspective, which is the yield that they will be generating. The second thing I want to speak about is with Ando Living, we have the clubhouses and houses. So the clubhouses are in the center of the neighborhood, which consist of apartments, but also on-site facilities, like the swimming pool, the gym, the restaurant, where the community can meet up. Because when people are considering this, they don't want to stay as a tourist and they want the community component, which the clubs are the heart of it. That the people meet and mingle with the people who are living here and quite like-minded, I would say. And around these clubs, we have the houses, and this Pedras Negras is one of the house, that when you are staying or when you are an owner of a house, you can also use the club amenities, which will be in Alfama and in Liberdade in this specific case, which is less than 2 kilometers. So it's in a kind of a walking distance. So going more in detail of this Pedras Negras house, this is located in Baxia, in the heart of the city, where it is quite touristic, I would say. It's a nice building because it's a corner building in a quite dense environment. This consists of 20 units, varying between studios and 3 bedrooms. And you can see some units have balconies, or starting from the 3rd floor, you also have some views, and we have the big units on the top floor. So it's a project of 2,000 square meter total size, which is kind of 21,000 square feet. And we have sizes from 56 square meter, which is around 600 square feet, to 2,200 square feet. The sizes varies. So we can go a bit down. that the nice thing, and I also have my background as the pool, and it's quite unique to find in our houses and in such a location like Baxia, a pool, which is great for the rentability and also for the owners to use. Because we always think of both things, being an owner, but also investment perspective. So if you are traveling and you are looking to Lisbon, if you are in a very central location with a pool, it really attracts the tourists to stay. So which is great for the rentability of the project. So we also, you see the garden, we have the small balconies, and moreover, what I can tell about is, of course, this is a place to stay and also to use as an investment. So basically, I think it's also interesting for us to say that we can provide different type of operation agreements. One is 4% guarantee because we will be managing the apartments. They are all coming with the furniture package, which is quite nice and delicate. And we would also like to show some of our existing buildings because nowadays we are operating 12 buildings and mostly they are located in Baxia. And it's great for the audience to check from booking our ratings because obviously it's not our ratings, but you can see, you can type in also on booking Ando living and you can see that everything is above 9.4, which is quite challenging to reach at booking. So this is another comfort because we've been in the business also on the operation sides more than 10 years. That you can see, and our average occupancy rate in Ando Living is 92%, which is quite high. And we have really good locations as well, but we are very excited for this project because as you see here, we have the Ando Living Madalena house. This is the best performing Ando, and it is 1 block away of Pedras Negras. And in Pedras Negras, we will have higher ceilings. We have the pool and everything. So we are quite excited because we have an example how it is performing. And we will even do better in this project, I would say. So I can continue. If you let me speak, I will go. But if you want to have questions from the audience or your side, please go ahead.
No, so Shafik, this is great. Thank you so much for sharing that information. You answered a lot of the questions that I was going to potentially ask
Okay.
about the actual properties, such as the size of the properties, number of units, and I think that was quite helpful. And then the pool and the layouts. I think maybe one of the things, yeah, exactly. Ellie said exact same thing. I was going to say, do we have any floor plans that we
Of
can make
course.
available? I know we have sent those in people's emails, but some people may want to see them.
So we will show the general floor plan. So in each floor, like the first, second, and third floor, we have 5 units. And because it's a corner building, it is really, we don't have a bad unit, I would say, because everything has a good light, good shape. Either you are looking at Pedras Negras Street or Madalena Street, or the ones looking at the courtyard is looking at the pool. So it has an open space. So there is no light problem. And on the ground floor, we have 3 units. They are, some of has direct access from the road. And they have mezzanine as well. So this is the ground floor, the three units with the mezzanines. And then, yeah, we can do the first floor. We can a little bit zoom in onto this one. Yeah, you see the, and we have quite high ceiling here, which is net of 3.10. And we have one unit that Diogo was showing, and it's his background with the fresque. So it's really exceptional. That unit is this one, and it's original. So as you know, in Baxia, this is what you find, and this is very unique. And you have all these different sizes between 56. So we have the studios, and we can go one by one the plans. The most of the units, I think 14 units, are one bedrooms. We have 4 or 5 studios. So this is the typical plans, and we can go one by one, and you will see the sizes and the shapes are quite rectangular and nice, I would say. This is the, yes, ground floor. We can continue. Again, ground floor. So this is the first floor, for instance, 1.1, with the balcony. The size is 88 square meter, 310. So it continues like that. Let's continue. So this is the one looking at the pool. This is a 1-bedroom alternative, which is 66 square meter. Another 1-bedroom. This is looking at the both Pedras Negras and Rua Madalena. And this is another 1-bedroom looking at Rua Madalena. And this is the studio. In each floor, we have 4 units like this, I believe, looking at the pool. So this is a studio, but you have a space, good space. It's around 58 square meter, which is a good size for a studio. So you have the living area and the bedroom. And everything comes with the furniture because we have, this is quite important, and we have to have the standard for it for everyone to see. And we have small balconies as well. On the 3rd floor, the ceiling height is a bit lower, but you have the full balconies and you can see the river view as well. So we have really a good mix. The ticket sizes are between 515,000 euro to 1.4 million for the 3-bedroom on the top floor. So the 1-bedrooms varies between 600 to 800 according to its view, if it has a balcony and everything.
There's only 1 bedroom, right?
In some of the, 1-bedroom is 1 studio is like the 1 space with the living area and the bedroom. So we have 1 2-bedroom and 1 3-bedroom on the top floor, which are these ones.
All right, Shafik, is it okay if I jump in really quick?
Please go ahead.
Okay, awesome. First, thank you for sharing the floor plans. And I believe, Ellie, thank you for asking the question because I think a lot of people were curious. There will be an associated price list that should be in your email as well, those of you who already joined. So if you are looking at the floor plans and you want to compare the floor plans to the price list, you'll be able to do that, right? I will say this, I lived in Baxia, Chiado.
Yeah.
If this is going to be a part-time place that you're going to be living and you're going to be renting it out, I can tell you it will be full all the time because it is. I walked there the other day and I've been here for 3 years. There is not a day that goes by, including Sunday, where there are not suitcases being pulled up and down the streets of Baxia, Chiado. So which is really interesting. I had a question come in here from I believe Mon and Christina. It says, you mentioned the service agreements.
Operation agreement, yes.
Okay. How many options of agreements are going to be presented to potential buyers of these properties?
Okay, great. So the operation agreement is mandatory because it's a touristic license, as Ando Living is registered in the title deed, I would say, because it has to have a operator. So we propose 2 options when there is a demand for reserving or buying the apartment. Either it's 4% rental guarantee, either it's the variable option that you can make up to 6% or even more. So maybe we stay here. So basically, it depends on the buyer's profile. Some of them wants to make an investment, and they will be spending like 2 weeks in a year time, because in both cases you have the voucher. And the voucher corresponds almost to 14 days of stay. And you can use this stay rights in any Ando. This gives you the full flexibility because we have the club building in Libertad, we have in Alfama, we have a project in Madrid, we have a project in Istanbul, so that you can use any Ando. Or let's imagine you bought a 1-bedroom, but you are coming with the big family that you need to use the 3-bedroom. It's all possible to do so. So either this 4%, which means if you buy a 1 million euro ticket, it means that you will receive 40,000 euro paid in quarterly base for 5 years. And it gives you the stay of 2 weeks of stay every year. And if you want to stay longer, obviously you will pay discounted costs around that. The other one, we have more and more Americans who wants to spend more time in Portugal, like 3 months, 4 months, and they don't want to be bound, but they don't want the hassle of having one apartment, deal with the maintenance, rented, not rented, mid-term, short-term is not possible. So that we disassociate this hassle from the apartment, because the day they are out, we are putting in operations for it to make yield for the owner. And in this one, there is not kind of a limit of stay. Of course, the more they use the apartment, the less return they get, obviously, because there is no income generating from the unit. So in such case, up to 6 months of stay, the revenue of the remaining 6 months is covered for the discounted costs. So it's kind of at the break-even point. But if at a point of time, the owner says, I will be staying 1 year, I will spend 1 year, or my kid is coming 1 year, then we say you walk out of the income pool, and this is the time only you start paying condominium fees. Because before that, there is no payment of condominium or anything. It is deducted from the income, and the net yield they will get will be between 4 to 6+%, as I was mentioning. So these are the two type of contracts, and in variable one, there is an option to live in the apartment too. But this is a great lifestyle investment product, because if there is an audience to say, I'm coming to Lisbon to move there full time, maybe this product is not the best option, frankly, but it is the best option to have a pied-à-terre, we say, like place to stay, and without hassle, good investment, good brand, and having this flexibility of using other European locations and everything. This is the best option, because we structured the product according to today's needs of the travelers and global citizens.
Very good. Thank you so much, Shafak. Hopefully those of you who had that question in your mind got it answered, as far as what type of project and why it's being built the way it is. It's very helpful. I think one of the stories that I heard is whenever you buy into Ando, you have options to be able to travel around the world where the properties are, which is quite helpful for those of us who want to move around. A couple of questions that came in, Shafak.
Please go ahead.
And maybe Marisa and Diogo. For the project, one of the questions was, can there be a Google Map link to the actual location, so people can go check out the location if they live here already?
So you can stop sharing, find the location, and we can zoom in. Yes, we can show.
As we pull that up, I'll have a couple more questions. One of the questions, will the building have like a lobby person or man or security at the front door?
So there is a video surveillance, of course, and we greet our team of operations, greet the people, but it's with the code to enter the building and the apartment. Where in the clubs, of course, this is larger in our club projects, and we have a concierge and all, but there is a WhatsApp communication and everything, and you can see it also in the comments of the existing buildings. Yes. So let's. Would you like to explain the location, Diogo?
So, yeah, basically, this building is located in downtown Lisbon. Okay. Yeah.
And basically, you can show where the Comércio Square is, the yellow square that everybody knows.
Just try to zoom.
Comércio, yeah. So.
Okay. So all this area here, just a second. all this area here that I'm pointing out, this is Baxia, downtown Lisbon, okay, where all it happens in terms of restaurants, bars.
Touristic attraction as well.
So, and it's everything walkable. You can do everything by walking. It's everything within 5 minutes distance, I'd say, to the river here.
One more thing, you see the Sé de Lisboa, which is the castle. So it's another attraction, and you know the yellow tram is passed by here. So it's a great location in that sense. And maybe we can also show the clubs we will be having, so the owners can also use the club amenities. One is in Alfama, is
Here.
just behind Santa Polonia by the river. Yes, exactly here. So it's in a walking distance, I would say 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And the other one is in Liberdade, which is the Fifth Avenue of Lisbon, more posh, fancy. And this is on the upper side, on the left. Yes, where you see Avenida as a metro station. It's very close by. So it's also good to see that you have these facilities to be able to use as well.
Very good. Yeah, I mean, it's a definitely great. Actually, I was at near both locations the other day. Oh, here's a good street view. I'll let you talk about it, Diogo.
Ah, yes, exactly. This is the location, and it's a
Então,
corner building.
como é que é?
Yes, here you go.
Você não tinha pedido da pijama, menina? Onde é que eu vou? Que não posso estar de pijama.
Oh, one of you is talking. It's not muted. So make sure you mute yourself.
Isso daí. Estou aqui numa.
Okay.
There we go.
So this is exactly the corner that we are speaking about.
This is where you got to see my face the other day. If you watched the.
Yes, I did. It was quite successful.
Jose, yes, the call will be available after this, the recording will. As we go through the location, I'm going to go ahead and go through a couple more questions that we have through because they're really good questions. You mentioned it's not residential building. I think this is something on top of mind for a lot of people who are considering purchasing. But as an owner, would I be able to register it as my residence while in Portugal? So, for example, I guess if somebody, Angela, if you're buying a property or living here, maybe renting something else, but you purchase this property, would they be able to register it as their residence?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, very good. That's a plain and simple answer. I like that.
One more thing I would like to add, I think it's important. You can also use financing buying these properties. So I don't know if there is a question or not, but it is interesting. If they decide to buy or something, basically we have 10,000 euro to reserve the unit. So it means that we sign an agreement about your intention of buying this property, and we sign it, we get 10,000 euro, and we block the unit, and we share all the legal package, which is kind of the title deed, license, and operation agreements, all the agreement package, for you to make your due diligence with your lawyer, most probably with a Portuguese lawyer, because it's better to see it here, and Marisa can help you with that, or you, Stephanie, so that it is also refundable for the 2 weeks of time for the due diligence time. And after that, we are moving to the stage of the signing the CPCV, the sales agreement, which we get 20% at the sales agreement, and we get another 20% around July 26. And the project will be delivered 1 year after that, which is Q2 2027. And this is when we expect you to make the title deed and make the 60% payment. And the 60% payment, you can have it financed by a Portuguese bank through a mortgage. Of course, after the screening and everything, and the team, I'm sure, will be helping you. But it's also great for the bank to see this commercial building, and it's yielding that we guarantee a rent and everything. So it can really be financed more than half of it, which is also a great option for the buyers. Sometimes they think that they have to put liquid, and it gives them more flexibility. That I want to mention it.
Yeah, I think that's very important to mention. I think a lot of people that are moving here that have not purchased here believe you have to use cash. So that's very helpful. One question, and I don't know if Ando does this. I have no idea. I know we have other partners that do it. Are people able to purchase through assignment or with assignment on Ando projects, or is that not a thing that Ando does? I don't know how common that is.
Assignment, you have to a bit extend the question.
Yeah, so for example, let's say they love this Ando property, right? And they want to invest in this Ando property, but then you're creating maybe another property down the road and it gets into phase 2 or whatever have you, and they have the possibility of selling their reassigning their position to another buyer. Is that a possibility for some buyers to be able to do this, or does Ando want to see their investors see the project all the way through?
So we cannot make changes, okay, because it's each project is in it's separate company and everything, the SPVs.
Mhm.
So they are not the same. But they can sell their position. We will let it to sell their CPCV, the sales agreement, to another buyer with the same conditions. But don't forget, if they go for 4% guarantee, it is from their acquisition price. So
Correct.
obviously, what is interesting in this project that we wanted to launch with you, because it's the launch prices, it's the first price list. And when we reach up to some level of sales, we are also increasing the prices. So this is interesting for that. So they will, if they are able to find a buyer for their unit, and usually we are sold out prior the opening of the building, so that they can sell their position and choose another Ando living property. But we cannot shift in between. We have to have the buyer.
Yeah, you have to have somebody come in to replace the contract.
Exactly.
Got it. All right, I'm going to go into some more of the question. Thank you for sharing that. You mentioned that the furniture package is mandatory. If so, are you able to add your own items, and what happens as furniture gets worn?
Great question. So when we go deeper in the discussion with the clients, because we would like to have one-to-one meetings and all, we also show an income simulation. So the clients would ask, we will be using 3 months in the summer or low season. What would be my return? So they will be able to see what yield they can generate. And in our management contracts, there are the costs that we cover, and it's 85% of the general costs, and 15% of the general costs are covered by the owners under the condominium fee, which is called periodic installment in touristic project. And they have a FF&E reserve fund, which means that from the building's income, there is a reserve fund saved for replacing the furniture. Because normally what happens when you go in, Airbnb booking, if you break something, that usually the stay client pays it. But if they cannot, this reserve fund will be used to replace the glass or anything. Or at a certain point of time, of course, there will be the old design and everything. And besides calling the owners asking for 10, 20,000 euro, this reserve fund will be used for that. So this is really well thought for a touristic project.
Very good. Next question was, what are the apartment fees if you are deciding to live in a unit?
Great, another great question. So as I told you, there is this condominium fee about the building, and in a house in such, it will be around €2 per square meter per month.
Mhm.
So, and on top of it, we will have an owner's fee. For one bedroom, I think it will be around €200 per month. And this gives you discounts on the F&B of Ando living in the clubs. Also, you can use the club amenities like the gym, like other pools and everything. And also it gives you also accesses, because for our community, we are doing some partnerships with different providers, retailers. There will be special exhibitions on the art side. So to participate these community things, there is a owner's membership fee and concierge services. It's also included within this fee. And they are paying this only if they are using the unit more than 6 months.
Okay, very good. Thank you for that. Next two questions. I'll put them together. I don't know if they
Yes.
go together, but we'll put them together. Is there a garage and are pets allowed? I believe it's a pets question mark, but I'll let you.
We are pet friendly, but we should always think about our stay guests because they can be allergic. So some units we will let. So if there is a specific request from an owner, we will make it pet friendly. And also stay clients can come. Of course, it shouldn't be a very big one because we have the furniture, but it's fine. And in this location, maybe Marisa can say better, but it is not possible to have car park because if we dig in, we will find things that we cannot do the construction.
We've gone through that before.
We don't want that. You want fast delivery. So there is no car park for this project, but there are car parks close in the area because it's quite touristic location.
Yeah, and I will say that some of the car parks will work a deal with you, and you can pay a monthly fee if you and if you're living there, that's one thing. But if your guests are coming in, obviously you don't want to have parking and deal with all of that as well.
Exactly.
One of the questions was when will construction be complete? I believe you said 2027. I don't remember what quarter.
Q2, like
Q2.
July.
Okay. Next question. When we are ready to sell, what does that look like before and after 10 years of investment? What's the expected date of completion? We had that already. And does the guaranteed 4% only begin after the first rental date? So
Yes,
several
first
questions.
rental date, obviously.
Okay.
The idea is to do the deeds, the 60% of payment, when we are starting the operations or a few months before. So the idea when the building is fully operational on booking, all the units, we have all the licenses, the yield starts counting. And it will be paid in the quarterly based and for guarantee for 5 years. So after 5th year, what happens? They might ask that it goes into variable contract. And as I told, for the variable, we have the model showing the estimated average daily rates, the occupancy rates, what will be the income of the building, and what will be the units share on that, the cost and the net. And it shows between 5.5 to 6. But of course, it depends on, and sometimes the client say, you will do much better, and I take the risk, I go for variable, and I want the flexible usage. And some says, I want to know as guaranteed, I have my mortgage, it's better, I will not be using that much for the 5 years. Then they go for the fixed one.
Very good. Next question is, how many Andos are already operating in the world, and what are the variable yields already being distributed?
So basically, we have 14 buildings that are under operations. In Portugal, we have the majority, I think I would say 11 in 10 or 11 in Lisbon, mostly in Baxia. So we are very confident in this location. That's why we were showing as well. And we have also in Porto 2, and we will have an upcoming one of 3rd. We are active in Istanbul, and we are under construction in Club and another house. And we have a building in Madrid that hopefully will be operating at in the start of the next year. So at the moment, for the first buyers, we can say that from the first prices, we reached around 7%. And the first building start operating in 2019.
Not bad.
Not bad.
Not bad. Okay, and then I think somebody asked for the exact address so they can start doing some research on the location themselves.
Can you send in the Diogo will write in the chat?
Yeah.
And maybe I can speak about my promotion today if you want.
Yes, please. I think everybody that's
To
interested.
get them more enthusiastic about it.
Go ahead.
So we are different than any other developer. Why? Because we are not the guys to give the keys. So we will be making money out of this by operating it. So it makes a real difference that how the finishings will be, how the furniture will be, and how well we will look after these properties. Because if there's something broken, not good quality, voice, problem, it will jeopardize us. So it gives additional comfort for buying overseas. So that we know that our conversion rate is much higher when we have our interested leads coming and staying in Ando apartments for them to experience. So what we call experience it before you own it. So if we have here today some interested leads that will be traveling, we would like to offer a discount that they can reach out to you and Marisa, that you will give the discount code around 15%. But we are also happy if you are moving forward in 1 month time with the reservation, that we can also deduct your stay cost up to 2,000 euro from the price list. So you will be paying the discounted, but if you decide to move further, we will deduct this cost from your acquisition price. And this is the promotion of the day.
I wish I could get promotions like this every day for myself. That would be fantastic. Greatly appreciate it.
Because we are quite confident and we encourage people to come and visit and see, to experience it. And we don't have the clubs operational yet, so it will be even better. Our first club will be start operating in April next year. But we would love to host you, for you to see yourself, and then we can do the visit to see in Pedras Negras, which is under construction at the moment.
Wonderful. And I think anybody that's planning on coming, if you're planning on visiting and you're planning on coming to see some of their properties are beautiful. I can say that because I went with Diogo to film 3 different units, which we'll be posting at some point in the near future. Another one of their locations in Santos that just
it's beautiful.
finished.
We have some units there too, just
Yeah, they're gorgeous.
This is upsell, basically.
I can tell you the furniture and the finishings are amazing. They're absolutely top.
Thank you so much.
Okay, so we have some more questions. This is a good question, I think, for people who may have questions about construction and what issues that may come up. What if there is a large issue during the construction, like plumbing or structural, will there be a cash call, meaning, or is there going to be more cash requested?
This is our problem, actually. So at the moment, this project, we wanted to be fast, so we took over, we started the construction right away, and we have one construction company for the all phases. So they dedicate this, they make the changes, and they change everything, basically. So of course, we have the construction cost and everything, and this is how we do the pricing. So it's not possible to call and say, oh, our construction cost increased, you need to top up another 20K. This is not possible. So we have to bear it, and we will increase the prices. But as we have one constructor, we have commitments in between, so it will be basically stay within this budget. And they will have 2 years of guarantee of the developer, obviously. And the furniture I explained, so there is no additional cost on that. But always they pay for the furniture package, and this payment is paid with the second payment, which is July 2026, because we have to source, and we have to, with the suppliers, we have to let them know a year before to be able to have everything ready.
Fantastic. All right, so I was doing math in my head with the 10,000, and I'm like, it's actually 8,000, but cash out of pocket. Anyway, people can do their own math. How far in advance will you need to let Ando know about the time you plan to come, so that you can use the unit that you have, or units that they're looking to rent?
We don't have any restrictions. We know how hectic and global travelers are. What we do is the owners will have a discount table. This discount table varies between 15% to 40%. The prior we know and the longer they stay, they reach to 40% discount. But if there is availability for the next day, 15% discount will apply, and we will try to accommodate, because when they are buying a 1 bedroom, there are 12 or 13 1 bedroom apartments, so we can, make the adjustment and book the specific unit for the owner. So there is no restriction, but the sooner we know, better conditions they will have.
All right, very good. This is a hypothetical situation from Chris here. There's a large issue post-construction, so 2 years after, and let's say the roof needs to be replaced or something like this. How will this be handled among the owners? And will there be some type of discussion that happens amongst the owners or through Ando? How will that work?
Basically, it will be a total new construction, so it's very unlikely, but hypothetical. If we have something on the roof or the common area, of course, it should, it will be subject to condominium. And if it's from the operating part that we did something wrong to use it, it will be on our side.
We have warranty for 10 years also.
And we have the warranty as well. So as I was saying, for the construction, it falls within the warranty, basically.
All right, so that's very good. Next question, do you plan to have a club in Porto as well?
Yes, we do.
All right. And then you mentioned a unit share, meaning all income of the building will be pooled and divided over all units.
Who is asking this question?
Angela.
Angela, very good point. Very good one. You captured that. This is a bit detailed, but I think it's important. In our projects, we don't promise, we don't calculate the income of your specific unit, because people might choose 1 bedrooms, or it's one has a river view, one doesn't. So to be fair, we make a price list according to how good the unit is as a square meter price. So like the ceiling height, the balcony view, all this will affect on the square meter price. And all the income will be pooled, and each unit will have the percentage according to their ticket value. So that even hypothetically that your unit is never sold out, you will still, or rented, let's say, you will still receive the percentage according to what your unit represents in the sales volume of the building. So that's why it's pooled and divided accordingly. So the most expensive unit will have the highest percentage, obviously.
All right, very good. I see some more questions coming in. One thing that I want to do, I'll get to those questions in a minute. I think Marisa, for you, I think this will be a good question, and maybe for Diogo and Shafik as well. What are the things that people who are interested need to start preparing now as a buyer or an investor for this? What are the things that they need to start getting ready to do?
Basically two things. I would say the tax number and also a bank account. It can be a European bank account. These two can be sorted out by a representative of the client. In this case, would be a lawyer. So a majority of our clients have legal representation for these matters and other matters. To represent them, for example, at the deed or at the promissory agreement signature. A note I would like to make is, for example, to do a remote transaction, which sometimes happens, or to grab a good unit in a quick manner. What can be done is there's something called the lawyer's client's bank account. So the transfer is made to the lawyer's bank account. And then so this can save a lot of time, and you don't miss the opportunity. And obviously, the person needs a power of attorney for this.
Just as an addition, we can accept direct money from abroad. So this is a good part. But I would definitely, you would need a NIF, Portuguese NIF tax number, and the lawyer for the due diligence. I mean, we know what we sell, and you know, Marisa, because you checked everything prior. But because they are buying, so I think engaging a lawyer is a good start.
Mhm.
And for us to be able to take the money, we will run the KYC. So this KYC consists of like where you live, what is your occupation, the source of income, and the proof of income that you will pay for the at least the sales part, like the sales agreement part, which is the 20%, because the rest you can get mortgage that you can have the bank, but it's not necessary to have the bank account operational while buying. But if you are doing financing at the end, obviously.
Precisely. Basically, these are the two main things that need to be sorted out to do an acquisition to start. Okay, and we do the bridge with the lawyers.
All right, very good. And if you are looking to purchase something here or move forward, Marisa and her team will be there to help guide you through that process. Because I know some of you are going, how do I even get that started? Obviously, Stephanie and I are here, but Marisa, go ahead.
Now, we always do an introductory call, screen call to make sure to actually explain all of this from beginning to end. We do guidance in all of these aspects. So we advise on the units, and then we do a tour for the final selection with the clients. And we have also a support team that can help us with everything we need. And typically, this is how it goes.
Very good. And I've dropped the link again for those of you who want to discuss your particular situation and or move forward. Marisa's link and their team's link for Oriya Real Estate group is already in the chat, right? A couple more questions that came up here. I think they're pretty good questions, Shafik and Diogo. I see that Ando has some apartments that are listed on Airbnb. How does that work, or doesn't work for Ando usually? Does Ando usually do their own reservations for guests?
Okay, so there in hospitality, there are two main providers on this platforms, let's say, Booking and Airbnb, which we all look when we are traveling. So it's not the owners, it's us putting the Ando apartments, the availabilities on Booking and Airbnb and some other, which are those, Diogo?
Airbnb, One Guide, we work with several platforms at the same time. Okay, so we can take the most of buildings.
But we also put it in our own website, and we are trying to increase and give more benefits to direct. So please also check out our website, which you can leave maybe, so that you can see our buildings or units as well, but you cannot fight with Booking and Airbnb. And for the highest occupancy, we need to be on these things.
Very good. So
platforms.
Ando's putting it out there for you, so you're not having to go hustle and take care of it yourself. And then I think a good question that came up was, how do we know how much and how many units are rented and what percentage we can expect that given year? And I think the question was also about a dashboard, which is probably a follow-up question to this.
Yeah. So we provide a dashboard where each owner has access to it and can track their own units. They can track
the building's performance,
the buildings, the gross income, the net income, the occupancy, the calendars, everything basically. Okay. Afterwards, we also provide a P&L at the end of the month where they can track, like they have a big picture, let's say.
Awesome, very helpful. And then somebody asked, what about the value? And we only have about 3 more minutes. I want to make sure I get to as many questions as possible. What about the value of the property's increase in the next coming years? Do we sell the apartment in case we need to sell, or what is sold? Sold is a certificate, I guess. So basically, I guess the question is, can you sell the property yourself if you want to?
You can sell it at any time. So this is a full ownership. It's not a timeshare, because we are speaking with Americans. I would like to point it out. That's why you can use mortgage, basically. So this is a full ownership. You own your unit. It's registered, and you can sell at any time. There is no restriction. Obviously, the new buyer will take over. So you will transfer your operating agreement to the new buyer. So let's assume you are fixed for 5 years and you are selling within these first 5 years, and the market increased and everything, and you are asking for more money. but the buyer will get the fixed amount of this 4% from your acquisition price. But if it's variable, it's variable. So you can sell it at any time. The owner, the new buyer, will take over the operating agreement. You can sell to someone you know, you can sell, we can also know it because we would know who is interested in this specific project, or your advisors, anybody can sell. So it's on the free market.
Very good. Awesome. I guess the next thing, I know we're getting ready to close out here. One thing, Shafik, that you mentioned was the 15% discount.
Not 15%, yes.
I want to make sure I heard
15% discount on the stay.
on the
Stay
stay.
cost,
Okay.
yes.
And then 2K
So
for
up to €2,000, we will deduct this, their stay, what they paid for their stay, either it's 4 days, 5 days.
okay.
We will deduct it from the asking price.
Very good. Okay, awesome. And then I saw your answer to one of the questions was 30% capital growth over an 8-year holding period. Does that include the 4% each year that they're gaining on the property, or is that if that makes sense? So we're just
Good
talking about
question.
capital growth, right?
Capital growth.
Yeah.
It's the capital. Of course, it's an estimation, and Marisa can also comment on this. You know, we had seen Baxia doubling the prices in, between 2015 to 18. In 3 years' time, I would say we should have bought everything on those dates. But it's still, of course, there are two things. One thing is the yield you generate. And if you are reaching up to 7%, it means that you can adjust and increase your price. And obviously, we are putting everything to make a brand of Ando living. That's why we are international and everything we are trying to be, we are expanding. So obviously the brand value will also be associated to your unit and the demand will show. But it's a location that it still has a progress of value increase.
Very good. I think one thing as we get ready to end the call, as people are getting ready to possibly make a decision and knowing that you will increase prices at some point in the near future, is there an idea of what those prices will be? Number one part of the question. Number two part of it, or maybe this should be the first part of the question. 10K to get started.
Yes.
Knowing that prices will increase. Is there a projection of what the increase will be whenever you decide to do so?
So first of all, till in one of our projects, we have already increased more than 20% while we are selling. In some projects, we are between 7 to 10%. It really depends on the speed of sales, the demand, and everything. And sometimes we block some units till the end because they are more valuable when you see the wow effect, with everything. So I would say minimum it will be 7 to 10% difference for the, and it can go higher. And what is interesting, if 10,000 euro you mentioned, so this is when you reserve your unit, you reserve from the price. You fix the price, but it's not to wait to sign in 6 months, because when you reserve a unit in the reservation agreement, we give around 6 weeks to sign the sales agreement. When it is a very specific case, we can adjust a little bit more. But the idea is to close the sales, meaning the sign, less than 2 months. And even we increase within these 2 months, you freeze your price by reserving a unit, by paying 10K.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, I think that's it. I don't see any other questions coming in. I want to thank first Shafik Diogo from Ando. Thank you so much for coming on and explaining the property and the whole idea of Ando, because I think it's really important. Marisa, thank you for coming on in place of Joanna. I know Joanna wanted to be here, but she had her situation. I want to thank all of you who came on. Hopefully you found the information helpful on being able to make decisions on moving forward with properties here in Portugal, and understand how the process works to move forward. And then to schedule a call, again, I'll drop the link one more time so that you can schedule that call and talk about your specific situation. And somebody said, I must attend another call. Thank you very much. This is very helpful. I look forward to connecting. So, Shafik, do you have any final words on Marisa before we jump off?
Well, I think it was a great audience, great questions that made me do my whole pitch with the questions. So I'm really glad. I would really love to meet online or host you in Ando Living for you to have the taste of it, that it will convince you much faster, and hope to see you in Lisbon soon.
Yes.
Wonderful. Wonderful. Go ahead, Marisa.
Make your words mine, Shafak.
You liked it, huh?
Yeah, we'll send an email replay for everybody, all the information, including the discovery call to set up with Marisa and her team, and maybe somebody from Shafak and Diogo's team also if needed, so that you can schedule that call. So really appreciate everybody. Everybody have a great evening that's here. Everybody there, have a great start to your day. And if you need anything from us, you have our email, my phone number, and then of course the link to book calls. So thank you all, and have a great one.
You guys, bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.